Hi there, second grade friends. This is Mrs. Welch, and I thought I would take some time today to give you a tour of our beautiful building here, CK Burns. So why don't we take a minute and you can follow me inside. Okay, we are going to enter into CK Burns School. This is the front door. It's the way you will enter into the school building if you take the bus to school. You will come right into the circle and up the steps. If you look to your right, you will see our wonderful secretaries. That's Mrs. Bennett and Mrs. LeMontagne. Typically the doors will be open, but right now there's not many people in the building, so they're shut. This is our entrance. We call this the front foyer. And to the right, you will see the door to the front office. Those are our secretaries. If you're ever late to school, you will check in right there. And if you look further down the hall, there's more third grade classrooms in both directions. And to the left, those are also third grade classrooms. So the best thing about third grade is you have that whole first floor to yourself. So even though it seems like a big school, it has a really small feel to it once you get here. So let's take a look inside one of our third grade classrooms. This is Mrs. Galante's room, and she's hard at work. I don't even think she heard me come in at first. There she is. Hi, Mrs. Galante. And this is her classroom. It is set up for the hybrid learning model this year. So the desks are pushed together. There's 2 desks at each station, one spot for the kids to work and one spot for them to store their backpack. Next year, it might look different. I believe next year, all of us will be back 5 days a week. So it'll be set up more typical to a classroom that you're probably used to seeing with 20 desks in each room. So as we head back into the hallway, to the left again is our secretaries. There they are, Mrs. Bennett and Mrs. LeMontagne. We're going to walk by the front doors. To the right is our beautiful library. To the left is our nurse's office. This is Mrs. Malia. She is a wonderful school nurse, and she's so excited to meet all of you. Hi, Mrs. Malia. And that is her office. If you unfortunately aren't feeling well or get bumped outside, you will go to Miss Malia. And here's our library. The library is big. That's what a lot of the second graders will say when they come here. We have Mrs. Thompson in here and Mrs. Bishop. They are our librarians. They're wonderful and they're helpful, and the library is filled to the brim with all kinds of really great books. We have fiction, nonfiction, fantasy, mystery, you name it. We've got it in here. We'll head back out into the hallway, and if we continue down towards the end of this hall, there are several more third grade classrooms. The next classroom we're going to go by is Mrs. Malik's classroom. She's a third grade teacher. This year she's out on maternity leave, so Mrs. Robinson is filling in for her. This is her classroom right here. It's room 3. It's very similar in size to Mrs. Galante's room. That was room 2. This is Mrs. Geekas's room. If you look to the right, we have 2 more third grades down here and the bathrooms. We have Mrs. Lozanne's classroom and Mrs. Gallant's classroom was down there. So now we're going to head back to the front of the building again. Remember I said it seems big, but it gets this really small feeling really quickly. Yep, those are some third grade rooms. That's about half of our third grade. We have 10 third grade teachers all together. We have another wing of third grade teachers to the left of the library. So when you come back to the front foyer, if you were to take a left and go down this hallway, there are several more third grade teachers down here. There is my office right here. If you ever want to visit me and say hello, Mrs. Welch's office. And I love to see you, so please be sure to say hello when you are in my neck of the woods here at school. As you continue down the hallway, you'll still have the library to the left. To the right, we have the boys and girls third grade bathrooms. There are 2 different bathrooms located on the first floor, all for our third graders. Mrs. Panette, room 10, another third grade teacher. Mrs. Cook and Mrs. Powers' classroom, they are also third grade teachers. And the end of this hallway, we have 3 more third grade teachers. We have Mrs. Pelletier, who's heading out with her 2 daughters. We have Mrs. Yort is this one to the left as I'm walking by. Mrs. Pelletier is waving. So room 12 is Mrs. Yort's classroom. And it's a different size and shape from the big classrooms in the front. The front classrooms are pretty big, but the back classrooms are really nice too because they're cozy and the sun faces that side of the building when you get here in the morning, and you have the fields and the recess area, the playground equipment out your window, so it's a pretty neat spot to be. We just walked by Mr. Roussel's room, and down here to the left is Mrs. Pelletier's room, room 14, and it's very similar in size and shape to Mrs. Yort's classroom. We open these doors and head down the steps, and this is the way you'll head out to recess. You have 2 recesses here in 3rd grade. You have a lunch recess every day. It's either before or after your lunch, depending on your schedule. And then you also have a mini recess, either in the morning or afternoon, depending on what time you have lunch. So there's our beautiful playground, and we head back inside. And now we're going to go downstairs, and I will show you where all the unified arts, the UAs, are located. So this is our ground floor. You might hear people say G1. That means ground 1. That's the first classroom. This is our gym. Our gym is huge. We don't share a gym and a cafeteria. They're separate. We have a nice stage area for all of the fun assemblies we have and shows we do. We have some traveling theater groups that come sometimes. We have a rock climbing wall. It's a really great place. Kids absolutely love gym class. So you have gym class once a week with Mr. Gallant. If we head down this hallway here, we are heading further down on the ground level. Just a few steps to get down into this area. We have the strings room, and we have the band room, also the music room, and they're being used right now for remote classrooms. So there's teachers in there teaching. So we're going to walk right on down and head towards the art room. And the art room might be my favorite room in the building. There's a lot of really cool places, but I just love this art room. It's so bright. There's lots of natural light in here. It's huge. It's one of the biggest rooms here at CK Burns School. And Miss Brooke, who's actually out on maternity leave, she is about to have a baby boy within the next couple weeks. And this is her classroom. This is the art room. So if we head back out of the art room, we're going to take a right, and we're actually going to head up a ramp. So this ramp brings us up to the STEM room, which is science, technology, engineering, and math class. It's really fun. It's over here to the right. I believe it's being used by a remote teacher right now, too. Here are some restrooms for students who are in the cafeteria, which I'll show you in a minute, or students that are in music, band, art, string, and STEM class use this restroom. To the left, you'd actually end up back at the gym. And if you went up those steps, you'd be back by the 3rd grade classrooms. We're going to head down towards the cafeteria now. The cafeteria this year isn't being used for eating. Students are eating in their classroom. So when we head down, it might look a little different than a typical year. There's some photocopy machines in there, and teachers kind of use it for their break area and their space to eat lunch, while the students are eating in the classroom with a duty teacher. So to the right over here is our cafeteria. Our lunch ladies are the best. Miss Kim is so sweet. There's nothing to worry about when you come to this cafeteria. She will help you if you forget your lunch number. There's lots of choices, and she's very understanding if you make a mistake or change your mind. So that is the cafeteria, and you will eat next year, possibly in the cafeteria or in your classroom. We're still figuring out some details about next year. But if you do eat in the cafeteria, you eat with half of the 3rd grade students. There's about 200 students per grade, so you'd eat with about 100 students in the cafeteria. So it does get pretty loud, but the kids really like to see everybody, so it's a good time. So now we're back up almost by the front foyer. We're going to walk by some 3rd grade rooms again. That's where Miss Lozon and Mrs. Gallant's room is, and another bathroom. We're walking by Mrs. Robinson's and Miss Malik's, Mrs. Geekis's. We're heading towards the library and the nurse, Miss Malia. And if you take the bus home, this is where you will exit the building. If you are a pickup, you would, instead of taking a right here to go out the door, you'd continue straight towards what we call the triple doors, and cars pick up back there. So this is how you would leave the end of the day. Or if you get dismissed, you'd come down to the front office as well, and this is where you'd meet your adults You'd head out the building. We would say goodbye, have a great day, we can't wait to see you again. And you would say, I can't wait to come back because CK Burns School is one of the best places to be. So that is our building. Here's where the buses will pull in. We call this the front circle. And this is where you'll start and end your day if you take the buses. Thank you so much, second grade friends, for joining me today as we toured our school here, CK Burns. I cannot wait for you to join us in the fall. I'm so excited to have you all here. I hope you have a wonderful summer vacation, and I look forward to next year when we're all together. Have a great day. Bye-bye, second graders. See you soon.